Side of the Staten Island ferry just completed an action for the one-year anniversary of the murder of Eric Garner, of which there is still no real justice. So my question to you was, how do you feel about Obama and his recent visit to an Oklahoma prison and his talk about prison reform?
Well, I don't feel very much about it. Look, what Obama is doing is he's the man who stuck the knife deep into your back and then he pulled it back a little bit. And now he expects you to congratulate him for doing something. Mass incarceration is part of a genocidal attack against Black and Latino people in this country. You have more than 2 million people, 60% of them Black or Latino, huge numbers of them in prison for possessing banned drugs. And virtually all of them in prison because they have been criminalized, put in situations where they have no legitimate ways to survive and raise families, and forced into the informal economy and illegal activity. And Obama's presiding over that. So for him to then turn around and say, I'm going to let 46 people who are in on drug charges out of jail, when there are 10,000 people in federal prison who are solely in there for possession of banned drugs. 10,000 people. And this is just the people who are in jail for banned drugs. They all met the criteria for release. He only let 46 out.
He actually admitted that a lot of the people that are in jail are for mistakes that he and other people like him have made, and admitted that normal behavior does not qualify being arrested.
But that's what happens. People get arrested. Look at the arrests for marijuana in New York City, marijuana possession. 50,000 people are in jail in New York City for simple marijuana possession. 45,000 of them are Black or Latino. That is not because Black and Latino people use marijuana out of proportion to their numbers in society. It is because the laws against marijuana possession get enforced in Black and Latino communities, and also get over-enforced, because New York is a state where it is not a crime to have a small amount of marijuana on your possession. But with stop and frisk, with the way the police criminalize people, especially Black and Latino people, especially young people, that marijuana that's in your pocket with a stop and frisk then becomes the basis for the cop to arrest you for marijuana possession. This is what goes on. They enforce the laws in a disproportionate way against Black people, against Latinos. This is what we're dealing with, and this is what Obama's presiding over. So for him to talk about, well, we're going to reform this, that's like somebody saying there's a genocide going down and I'm going to smooth the edges out on it. Not that I'm going to get in and stop it, but I'm just going to smooth the edges out in the hopes that that will take away some of the steam of the understanding that people are getting and the outrage that people are getting about the inequities in the criminal injustice system in this country, and people will start thinking, oh, well, Obama's taking care of it. No, he's not taking care of it. He's presiding over it, and he's working to keep it in effect, and just throwing out some dust to cover over the horrors that the system he presides over is committing.
And I mentioned to you as we were walking over here, when it came to the torture report, and when it was released that the United States government was actually involved in torturing people at Guantanamo, what was Obama's response? He said, let's look forward.
In other words, let's look over the crimes against humanity that were being committed at the behest of the U.S. government and being committed by high-level officials in the U.S. government. They all got a pass. They got their get-out-of-jail-free cards. But young people, you know, in the inner cities, people in Appalachia who get caught up in meth, there's no get-out-of-jail-free card for them. This is what this system is about. This is what we're dealing with. And it's going to take two things. One is it's going to take revolution, nothing less, to get rid of the system once and for all that does this. And two, it's going to take everybody standing up and saying, this has to stop. I don't care if you're a revolutionary, if you're motivated by your religious beliefs, whatever motivates you. If you are somebody who sees injustice and doesn't want to sit by while this goes on, then get involved in it. Be with us in October when we say police terror must stop. Which side are you on?
And that's what, October the 22nd?
October 24th.
And so this action today was happening because the family got $5.9 million, but no real justice.
Yeah, that's not justice. That's an attempt to say, all right, we paid you, why don't you shut up? To their credit, the family said, this is not justice. They want to see the murderers of Eric Garner put on trial, convicted, and sent to jail. But the whole society needs to see that, because this wasn't just about Eric Garner, although he was the one who was murdered. We must remember that. But this is a message. Back in the old days, the days of lynching, they would grab a black person who didn't know their place and string them up and then leave their body hanging there as a message to everybody else that this could happen to you. Well, the Eric Garner murders played the same role. Everybody saw him killed. Everybody saw that this was unjust. And everybody saw that the system didn't do anything about it. So that's a message to all of us that this could happen to any black person, any Latino, and nothing would be done about it.
And the only
we
one
have to not accept that.
And the only one arrested how many times was
Ramsey Orta's been arrested 3 times. And his crime has been to take the video of the cops killing him. And they've been setting him up, you know, because they try to put a drug bust on him, but there's no drugs. But still he gets arrested around it. They put a gun charge on him, but his fingerprints aren't on the gun. They're just targeting him, again, to deliver a message. This is what happens if you get in our way. And we have to not let that go down. We have to say we're going to stand with Ramsey, and we're going to stand for justice for Eric Garner and for all the victims of the police.
Carl DIX, thank you.